Hey guys, Chris Trott from TaylorMade Golf. Hey guys, my name's Chris Trott. I work for TaylorMade Golf, out on the tour servicing the game's greatest players. One of the responsibilities I have is to make sure these guys are in the right equipment for their game. I'm here today at True Sports to check out some of the products they've got in the line. The Smoke Green has just been launched. I want to learn all about it. Let's go inside and check it out. Donnie boy, how's it going?
What's up, lad? How you doing?
How's it going, mate?
Welcome to True Sports. This is the home for all the Project X and True Sports composite R&D.
So this is the first time I've been here. Give us a little rundown of what goes into making golf shafts for the best players. And I know you guys don't just do golf. You've obviously got hockey, you've got a cool chair, you've got all sorts going on. So tell me about True Sports, what it does, and let's check it out.
Yeah, so we got everything here. We do all of our composite R&D for our golf shafts is here. So everything that gets tested on tour is made here. We do all our composite R&D for hockey sticks, other hockey protective equipment. We've got lacrosse, we've got baseball. We're always looking at new stuff, so we're gonna go see all that testing equipment out here.
Let's go.
What the hell? I mean, this place is legendary and then it's beige.
Yeah, it's a factory, man.
Well, come on, I want more than that. What's this, like the vault?
So this is the
Nice,
freezer.
I'm going in, I'm going in.
So this is where we've got about $1 million worth of carbon fiber pre-preg.
And you're hanging meat in here as well, Don.
We are, yes.
So $1 million worth of carbon fiber in here.
Yes.
And when it comes in, it obviously comes in as a sheet.
Comes in rolls.
Yeah.
So you see all these rolls here. You know, a lot of people don't understand all the different kinds of carbon fiber there. There's not just carbon fiber and you buy one kind.
Yeah.
We have about 25 different configurations of carbon fiber we use here, but depending on if we're designing a 100-gram iron shaft or a 40-gram wood shaft, completely changes that recipe. So, you know, a lot of different companies talk about the different fibers they use or they buy. We all have access to that same thing.
Yeah.
Kind of what makes a golf shaft what it is the recipe of putting those fibers together and how good the engineer is that's using them.
Cheers, mate. How are you?
So
How
this
you
is
guys
our laboratory, or as you probably would say, laboratory.
Maybe.
Yeah.
This is, at least we've gone from beige to grey.
Yeah.
People have got a lot more
Well, we
charisma
did
than the beige people.
beige floors, yeah,
okay,
yeah.
fair enough.
So this is where all of our composite R&D starts. So in here we cut the material, roll all the products. Everything we do in here eventually transfers to mass production, but it starts here. We can crank about 30 graphite shafts a day in here, and if I put a design sheet in the morning, it's hittable by lunch. Cool, so yeah, like I said, more material in here. Technicians are doing cutting and rolling, and then what we're gonna do next is we're actually gonna go ahead and have them roll up the new Smoke Green, so you can kind of see that made from womb to tomb, and then we'll get on with it.
Talk us through what's happening here, Don.
So we're gonna roll our new shaft, the Smoke Green.
Yeah.
And so first layer that goes on, if you look, you can see over here, Trotty, that these...
The first thing I've noticed, which I want to just bring up, why is this heated? We've all got our hands on it because it feels great.
Yeah.
Why is it heated?
So when we talk about carbon fiber, what we're really working with is what we call pre-preg. So that is carbon fiber with epoxy already mixed into it. There's some other applications, not necessarily in golf, where you put dry fiber on and then you inject the epoxy onto it.
Yeah.
Like if you see like the hoods like on some of the souped up cars, that's made that way. They lay the whole thing out with dry fiber and then shoot the resin into it.
Okay.
We get it pre-mixed. The reason this has to be warm is at room temperature, this stuff's not very sticky, so when you try to roll it onto itself, it will just unwrap. So we actually need the material to be warm. It gets that epoxy kind of soft and sticky, makes it easier to roll, makes it stick to itself. So this first layer that's going down here, you can actually see the carbon fibers at a 45-degree angle.
Yeah.
There's another piece behind this that's at minus 45.
So there's two pieces in
Two
this one
pieces,
piece.
yep.
Okay.
Yep. And so what that does is, this is what controls our torque.
Okay.
So, and it's pretty much only controlling torque. So if all the rest of this controls stiffness, doesn't really matter what we do here, all it's gonna change is torque.
Now coming back to the player, torque is feel, right?
Torque is feel.
Because I know this new shaft you've got, this Smoke Green, guys are saying like it's super stout. You got the comments this week. You got to be like the Hulk to get this thing. And the torque's at 2.2, reading the spec sheets.
Yeah,
is that correct?
yeah, it's on the 80. It's 2.2. Yep.
Have you gone lower than 2.2? And if you do, what happens?
We can get lower than that. It just, well, a couple things. Depends on the weight you're at. If you get really low torque, like 2.2 and a 60-gram shaft, it generally doesn't feel very good. So the lower the torque gets, the less the head's going to twist when you hit it off center.
Yeah.
And that generally creates harsh vibration. So there's a balance there between wanting it to feel good, and so generally better players are hitting in the center of the face. You wouldn't think it's this way because, you know, the shaft's here and the head's here, but if you hit it dead on center of gravity, the head doesn't twist. It just goes straight back. So it's those heel and toe shots where you feel the torque. And so for players who don't hit it in the center of the face very often, higher torque actually feels better because they're not getting that obnoxious vibration as often.
Next question, which is more one for me, again, more tour focused. Why all this is happening, all these great layers, all this technology? I'm going from a meat room into feeling the heat here. I've got Larry, my man here, with all this experience. So much has gone into this. Why do we then get on a tour truck and go, okay, 1-inch tip?
Oh, so the reason really...
1-inch tip, just to explain as well, is we tip prep all our golf shafts.
You cut 1 inch off the tip before.
Well, why?
One of the reasons, well, the reason we do it on our truck is because we tip 1 inch, and then if the player needs to go a little bit softer or a little bit stiffer, we can go untipped or we can tip it 2 inches. If you start with no tip and they need a little bit softer, you got to try to move them into another shaft, and that's a whole explanation of, oh, well, why, I know I want that shaft, why can't I play that one? So when you start at one, it gives you're starting in the middle, basically.
How much field change does it make? At TaylorMade, we talk about if we move 8 grams, 6 grams weight around the head, it moves the CG roughly a millimeter. How much can you put that into words? How much it changes?
Yeah, so when we measure, the way we measure how stiff the tip of a golf shaft is called tip deflection. And so we clamp the shaft to the tip, hang a weight, and we see how far the butt end of the shaft bends down. So a flex is generally plus or minus about 7 millimeters. So say the spec for this is 90. Out of production, we're between 83 and 97. Okay. So when we tip something, we're moving it about 3.5 millimeters. And so basically it's about a quarter of a flex in terms of the tip stiffness of the shaft.
Isn't it? Everything's fractions. That's what I feel like, see about all this. It's all fractions.
And that's gonna change the way it feels. You're gonna make that, you know, because you're losing more of the small side and keeping more of the big side, and so it's gonna change the way the shaft feels.
It's all hand rolled then. I didn't realize that.
Yep. So we could swap that out for different fibers and go from 3 degrees of torque to 5 degrees of torque with everything else staying exactly the same just by changing that material. So that material controls the torque entirely. So the reason we use this machine for this part is the fibers that are aligned along the length of the mandrel, really easy to roll on. When you try to bend very stiff carbon fiber around something, harder to do, so we get a little machine assist on that. So these tip flags, that's how we're making the shaft stiffer in the tip section. So that's how we control trajectory. So with this same build we have here of smoke green, that's low launch, low spin, I can leave all the rest of this stuff the same and just change the material in these 2 flags or take them out entirely. And now we've got a mid-spin or a high-spin shaft just by changing that.
Yeah, amazing. And this is all for prototype purposes. This is all for testing. This is how you get everything. Okay.
Yep. Yeah. So we'll follow Larry out, and you guys can see the seller wrap process. So this is the tape. You can see it right here. So
this is the wrap.
Yeah.
So that it holds together. Yeah. I get it.
So we're doing about 20 wraps per inch of this on there. So every wrap's getting stacked on by 19 wraps after it. So again, we're just trying to get maximum compaction between each of those layers. So it's going into the oven as 12 different pieces. It's coming out as 1 piece.
That's cool.
That's it. That shaft is now ready to go hang in the oven. So we're going to cure that at about 275 degrees for about an hour and a half.
That's pretty heavy now.
Yeah, I mean, you got a solid rod of steel in there. So.
Yeah, cool, sweet.
This is the paint booth, so all of our cosmetics start in here. So we've got graphic designers who do the actual graphics. We got a guy in here who mixes all of the paint himself. So all of the colors we use, everything like that, he's actually mixing all those in here. He used to work for a paint company, so when we need a new color, we don't have to go to Home Depot and have them mix something. He just mixes it himself.
How many layers of paint go on all these products?
So it depends. Like a Even Flow gets 3 layers. The old T1100 was 7 layers.
Why so many? Why so many?
To get that, you've got to put a black base down on there first. Polish it. It's got to be super smooth to make it that shiny. So we've got to put a couple primer layers on it first. And then it gets a couple clear coats.
How many layers are going on your new badass one?
That one right now is 4. So being that we're a testing R&D facility, there's a lot of noises that happen. So that is.
Can we see in here?
Yeah, absolutely.
What's the deal? What is this? Durability?
Yeah. So this is air cannon testing.
Yeah. You got some old school stuff in here, Don. So what are you testing here? What's the deal?
So this is our shaft durability test. So we're firing a ball 135 mile an hour equivalent swing speed at the heel of that head.
That's a quick ball speed then.
Yeah.
So you're into like 190 ball speed.
Yeah, so basically we're taking tour type ball speeds and putting it hacker impact location, because that is our worst case scenario. We get somebody really strong, but who hits it out of the heel, because that puts the biggest load on the shaft.
I wondered why you were such a geek. Now I know.
Yeah.
Sweet. Don, what's this you got on the wall? I like it.
This is the M5 driver head you gave us to do a giveaway with.
I like it. Tell the people where they can get this.
So once you're done watching the video, go to my Twitter account, @TheTrueDonBrown. We'll have all the details on the giveaway there.
Guys, thanks for tuning in, watching. Obviously, this is a new YouTube series that I'm doing. Like it, comment, let me know your feedback. If there's anything else you want to see, let me know. Hopefully you learned a lot from this experience. Don, awesome. Mate. Thanks for having us.
Yep.
Cheers.